this is Manesh Patel with IMTF Trade. Today is June 9th. I want to talk about the Nifty, the Indian market, due to all the elections that happened last week. India's been going for elections for the last couple of weeks. The process takes a little while longer due to the number of people there. So initially you had here, and we'll start going to the charts now so we could show you. Initially you had a gap up here on the Nifty on the initial election results, and then you had a gap down here, then it kind of balanced out. Now you came back up here. So that really was a lot of inflections that happened during the week due to everything that's going on with the elections, and it kind of made things really, really hard on how to trade the market. A lot of politicians were talking about before the result came out to buy the Nifty because it could go up another 20% and so forth. So you had a lot of run up that was going on due to a lot of politicians talking on TV and stuff like that. But either way, you want to take note of the actions that you see on the charts, and that's exactly what we're looking at. So we're going to look here and see how our AI forecaster works out. So we have a black bar here. This is our AI forecaster. This tells you something's going to happen on the next bar. And what we're doing is, this is the entire list for the week, last week, for us to trade. So these are the only stocks in the Nifty/Sensex that you could trade for that week that you knew had high probability to move. And what you're looking for is this black bar here. This green shade here tells you it's a bullish opportunity. That means you're going to buy a couple of points above the high, which is that blue dot right there. And the red dot will be your conditional stop. And then your target will be up there at the top. Okay. We don't have a target right now on this one for some reason. Anyways, let's look at this one here. This one's already past the target. So you're looking for a 3-to-1. Either way, you know your entry, you know your stops. The goal is to be profitable at the end of the week. If not, you exit the trade. Okay. Now, you had a lot of scenarios that had a gap up and then a gap down. So in those situations, when you have this list here, you're looking for everything that has a shade that stays intact. Okay. So you want this to be intact, and then the very first thing you want it to do is not the gap above the previous bar high. Once it starts gapping above the previous bar high, you run into various different situations. So this stock here did not gap above the previous bar high at all. So this was still a potential opportunity along with the green shade here. So it went down, then came back up. We entered here. There's your conditional stop, and it was profitable. So that's the type of trade you're looking for. Here, this gapped up but didn't gap above the weekly high, which is exactly what you want. You do not want it to break the weekly high at all. And I'll show you some that did. So this was still an opportunity here to enter, and that was profitable. Here, this gapped above the previous week high. So this is not an opportunity even though it had a shade. You're not even going to look at it. This gapped above it. This was not an opportunity at all. This one here didn't even get to the entry, so there's no trade there. This one had no opportunity here, and this one here gapped above, so there was no opportunity there. So if you look at all the high probability trades with all the volatility going on, there were 2 trades here that were high potential, high probability, that basically did give profits that were good. If you look at everything that's a non-shade, what you're looking for it to do is go one way and then go the other way. And that's exactly what happened here. And let me quickly show you this too. Okay, so this one here gapped up, didn't have a shade. So since it gapped one way, you could look to go the other way once it goes through the red dot. So on these trade opportunities that have no shade, you want it to go for the red dot, and then you could take a trade. So this gapped up bullish. Now you could take a bearish trade here, went for the red dot, entered right there, came all the way down here, and this was a profitable trade. So this is another scenario here. This gapped up, then went down, then went through the red dot, And so we could take this trade towards the end of the week, which was profitable. This one here gapped up, so you could only take it bearish since it had no shade, and that was profitable. This was profitable. This was profitable. And this is profitable. Notice there are some bearish trades in here. If you look, this is bearish, so you're actually bet on it going down. Okay, and I know with the options you have 4-week options typically, so these are short-term trades where you can look to profit by the end of the week and get out at the end of the week. So you look at those options too. These are trades here that you did enter short here, but then what happened is it got to our break-even point, which is roughly about here, and this will be stopped out at break-even. So we do have a scenario where if you go down a certain amount or go up a certain amount, you change your stop to break-even, and these are the trades here that got out of break-even here. So if you look at the entire results and the high probability, you have 2 winners, no losers, and no break-even. The low probability trades here that made you work a little more, you had 4, 5, 6, 7 opportunities to the bullish side, and then 4 break-even with no losses. That's pretty good results if you think about it for everything that happened in the Indian stock market last week. If you have any questions, feel free to post on social media for us, and we'll respond right back to you. Thank you. Bye-bye.